I want to take you back to Boksburg now, where the ANC's National Executive Committee has kicked off its three-day Lekgotla in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. The gathering is expected to be a crucial one ahead of this year's local government elections, where for a number of the representatives of the ANC, ministers, deputy ministers, premiers, provincial executives, as well as mayors across the country, are meant to align on the party's program for government ahead of the government Lekgotla that's yet to take place. And of course, that will be the government cabinet Lekgotla, where the president will be leading members of national government, provincial government and local governments across the country. Right now, though, the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, is addressing the gathering.
As somebody tries to speak to people at the back there, just to ensure that there's some silence. On the occasion of the annual Lekgotla of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, which is currently underway, day one, the Secretary General is going to make a few remarks regarding the objectives of the Lekgotla and other matters that he would wish to cover with yourself. Thank you very much. Over to you, Comrade SG.
Thank you very much. The members of the media, compliments and Happy New Year to all of you as we meet from Moruleng in the northwest. Today, the NEC convenes its Lekgotla at national and in the provinces to plan for the year ahead after January 8 and to assess implementation of previous Lekgotla decisions. The January 2026 Lekgotla takes place after the successful 5th National General Council in December 2025 and the 114th anniversary of the ANC with its January 8 statement setting out the political balance of forces and tasks and activities for the year. The year 2026 will be another challenging year with opportunities and political pitfalls. The most important political events domestically will be the 30th anniversary of the Constitution and the National Dialogue, which will commence at the beginning of the year. By the end of 2026, local government elections will then take place. This Lekgotla takes place in the context of a global situation that remains highly volatile. The global right-wing agenda and actions to reshape the global order by the USA, heralding a phase of imperialist domination characterized by economic and military imperialism, buttressed by communications warfare. Other developments on the domestic front include economic green shoots, South Africa being removed from the FATF and European Union grey listing, 4 quarters of positive GDP growth, albeit at low levels, energy stability and signs of recovery of SOEs and the logistics sector. At the same time, the challenges of placing the country on a sustained positive trajectory to reduce poverty, unemployment and inequality. 4 years to the 2030 target of the National Development Plan remain the major issues impacting on public trust in democracy and on nation building and social cohesion. Although the ANC adopts an annual program of action and in this term of office we do annual reports on work done, we still have issues around consistency, coordination and accountability of the implementation of our programs we agreed to in Lekgotlas. In this regard, an updated ANC year plan once we have adopted the program of action from Lekgotla is critical, especially since we're in the year which can be characterized as the year of the elections. Our January 8 statement theme is the marching order. The theme that says decisive action to fix local government and transform the economy. This then frames our approach to the January 8 Lekgotla and the ANC program of action for 2026. And this is guided by 6 key tasks: fix local government and improve basic services, speed up economic transformation, inclusive growth and job creation, wage war on crime and corruption, GBVF as a national disaster, build a South Africa that belongs to all through the national dialogue and the 30th anniversary of the Constitution, make organizational renewal visible and irreversible, build a better Africa and a better world. So all our commissions will be focused on these key tasks that will be undertaken. The objective of this Lekgotla is to provide a framework for the ANC Program of Action 2026 based on the January 8 theme and tasks and the 5th National General Council plan for 2026. This Lekgotla also is about to ensure that the framework addresses implementation roles and accountability of organizational structures, leaders and members and government deployees at all levels, and provides for coordination and reporting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, SG. I'm taking quick questions. Sunday World.
Oh yes, thanks, SG. Good afternoon. SG, have you done the postmortem of the January 8th, and if you did, what is the outcome of that postmortem? Secondly, SG, there's a lot of talk around the Joburg ANC Regional Conference, so a lot of reports about this being involved. Can you please clarify what is the state of affairs with regards to the outcome of the ANC Joburg Regional Conference? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. January 8, in terms of execution and evaluation, a report will be given in the regular NEC meeting. But overall, January 8, from our side, in terms of attendance and delivering the statement, it was a success because we achieved the objective of what we want to achieve. We wanted to go to rural Northwest. We achieved that. With all the logistical challenges and the environmental pressures of climate change we witnessed, the heat and all of that, our January 8 was well attended. As you would have all seen, the debate about stadiumology is not something we want to venture into because all of you were present and you saw what happened there, that in terms of the logistics, the area itself was a big challenge for the ANC. And we took time even to leave, and some of the people could not even reach the stadium because of attendance. But nonetheless, it was a great success. And thanks for covering our event and being present, except your mischief of dragging us into stadiumology about whether the stadium was full or not full and all of that. And of course, everything did not start on time as planned. We did explain on the platform of the January 8 why the rally started late is because of the traffic and people coming into the stadium, and we started late when we were supposed to have started at 10 o'clock, but eventually we started and everything went well. Issues you are asking are operational. There is no issue with regard to the Joburg conference. It did take place. There are, however, complaints that were raised which we are attending to. There's no police involvement. Police get to be involved from time to time when we need extra manpower. So should that be required, we will involve the police in terms of safeguarding the ballots if there is a need to do a recount. At the present moment, there is no such. We are attending to the complaints as they've been raised with the Secretary General. Myself and Hope in Gauteng, we are attending to those. But there's no issue with regard to the Joburg conference. It did take place, and we had deployees there. Like any other normal process, like it happened in Limpopo, there were complaints, we attended to them. Even in Joburg, we are doing the same. So we have not established a commission of inquiry or anything of that sort. We are responding to the complaints because the Electoral Commission made public pronouncements on the electoral processes and the interventions that they have made, and that prompted reaction. Before that, there was no issue. Everybody had accepted the outcome and all of that. So in the middle of December, they called a press conference to make pronouncements. So they've got to respond to the complaints that are raised by the structures and individuals who attended the conference. So the Secretary General is attending to that matter at an operational level. And then I think very soon it will be water under the bridge, but we are focused.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
ANC.
All right, thank you so much. Moloko Moloto here, Mr. Mbalula. Still on the Joburg issue, just to clarify, are the issues that have been raised with you relating to the use of money, which is a matter that was lamented by the former chairperson of Joburg, Tata Modaro, who said money really is a problem, or you made an allusion to the issue of ballot? Was it a matter of ballot? Perhaps the counting was the problem in regard to counting. You couldn't just be specific. But the second question relates to the remark you made that the challenge in terms of implementation of program relies really on failure to implement. Where lies the problem? Is it on the side of you as the political leaders in the ANC reining in, or the problem lies elsewhere in government where people simply are not willing to be raised?
In terms of implementation, we have now sequenced the question of how we are going to implement the program of action arising from this Lekgotla. It will be the first quarter, second quarter, and at the end. So quarterly, there will be an evaluation of the implementation of work as directed by the January 8 statement that we must fix local government and at the same time ensure that there is economic growth. So based on the program of action coming out of this Lekgotla, we should be able to monitor that work. That work already started with the roll call and the 10-point plan of local government intervention. So we will be in a position throughout the year to evaluate, report, and intervene. It is called monitoring and evaluation. So our capability as the ANC is being sharpened. But equally, we are accompanying that with consequence management. Where implementation is lagging, what do we need to do? It's not always to replace people, but we can bring extra capacity or we can change people. And an example is at eThekwini, where we appointed Cyril Xaba, and then the president on the side of government appointed a task team that deals with support in terms of capacity of local government in eThekwini. So that is the sort of mechanisms that we are going to strengthen once the program of action is adopted post this conference. Allegations that are made and complaints and so on, if they are not tested, they remain rumors. We heard about money and all of that, but there's not been tested that indeed money exchanged hands. We're very much encouraged at the end of the conference when even those who lost in the conference accepted the result. Like I explained to you, the issue of electoral outcome come as a result of the mishap of the Electoral Commission where they made a public pronouncement on the outcome and the fact that they were intervening to address gender parity. So the complaint relates to that. And all other issues that have been raised with the Secretary General, I have received all those complaints and I've sent them to the Electoral Commission, which include NEC members, members of the provincial task team, to respond to those issues that have been raised and so on. So they will respond and then report back to the Secretary General about their response, and then the SG will then communicate with the complainants. So we should be in a position to complete that work in a week's time.
SABC, and then I'll come back this side. I just need to take care of this side as well. SABC.
Mr. Mandela, just as a follow-up to Namande and this question, especially on Johannesburg, can you confirm that you have received that letter that was sent to Babo? You were copied in it, where the former chair, Dada Morero, had raised a conflict of interest regarding Nolutando White, saying that she's the head of the elections committee, but she also worked under Loyiso Masuku. Last year, you promised to give us the outcomes or the results of the local government barometer, the ANC's assessment of the various local municipalities. What can you tell us so far?
No, we will.
And then just one more. The proposal that perhaps the ANC should look outside of the party for a mayoral candidate, how's that doing?
Well, the ANC will look at all possibilities. The national officials have been given a mandate to deal with the appointment of mayors, and then we are working now on the framework that will guide the officials in executing that work. That work is still in works, but we are gearing ourselves up, including the guidelines that we have adopted in terms of the processes of appointing candidates for local government at the ward level and so on. So to us, this is going to be a wall-to-wall campaign, and that is what we're going to do. The framework will guide, of course. I don't know when you say outside, what do you mean? Anyone who will stand on the ANC platform will be ANC people, but at the same time, our process in itself, it infuses the element of public participation. So the framework of the mayors will also take that into consideration. But the officials have been given a task which have been endorsed by both the NEC and the National General Council that the officials must then execute. And then your other question, Donald Trump?
No.
Oh, okay.
The letter.
The local government. We are going to report quarterly. We couldn't because of events of General Council, Muruleng. Now, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to give you our first report, public, about local government and the performance of the ANC in all municipalities and the consequence management intervention in different provinces with regard to the execution of the 10-point plan, and at the same time, the quarterly report in terms of service delivery on the ground. And then, yeah, no, we received the letter. We are attending to it and the complaints that are there. And I'm not going to respond, single out one issue that the chair is related to who and all of that, lest we be prejudiced, should there be litigation in the process. So I can only assure you that that letter is received and the SG is attending to the content of it.
Business day.
That is Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the ANC, responding to questions from journalists at the ANC Lekgotla taking place in Boksburg this afternoon. It's a 3-day gathering of the ANC ahead of the government Lekgotla. Government, of course, Lekgotla is being headed up by the president. That includes the national executive of government.